All right, thanks to everybody for coming out. First of all, thanks to Michael. Excited to have him now back as in this lead role, working with media relations, along with David and Kent, who do an amazing job and continue what Steve Fink has done. So miss Steve Fink being out here. I did see the picture he posted on social media of his swole body last week, so I can't wait to see him again. But Michael obviously did a great job working with us beforehand, and then working with Lamont and the basketball program the last couple of years, and he'll do an awesome job in this role. Great job by him organizing this and putting it on. Thanks to everybody here at Cobblestone and your team for your help. Course looks great. Everything here at the course is amazing. So appreciate you guys hosting us every single summer. And then thanks to Casey and his team at Backstreets for the awesome gift cards. We're looking forward to being back at Backstreets on Thursday night next month for Carolina Calls when we kick that thing off, and appreciate their support of everything that we do. Thanks to all of you that participated in it today and taking an afternoon to come out here and have some fun on the golf course and spend time with us. And then appreciate all of our great friends from SEC Network that were here today. Peter Burns and the winning team. Congrats to Peter and his squad. Saw them play a couple holes, and I knew they were going to be tough to beat, so great job. And then Alyssa Lang and Roman Harper being here also. Appreciate you guys coming down from Charlotte and joining us today. Thought the pace of play was good. I know it got bogged down over there on number 2, the par 3, because our offensive line coach set up a bar in his backyard for everybody to stop at. So I think I speak for everybody. Clem, thank you. I know everybody enjoyed that as well. So one time for Clem in the backyard bar. Thank you, Clem. But that was certainly good. It was good to have David from the Athletic here today. This will be his first and only tournament that he plays in over here on number 9. I was having a conversation with Alyssa right to the left of the green, and a golf ball landed on my golf cart that somebody had hit from – in his credit, it was a heck of a shot because I think you were about 240 yards out probably and hit a great drive in there. Pulled it a little bit. In his defense, I should have left because the group before us had left, but Alyssa and I were talking. Ball landed on the golf cart. It was David, so great shot. Sorry about that, but we won't see you back next year, David, after that one for sure, man. But, again, I'll be brief. I know I talked to all you guys, and for the most part in Tampa last week. Don't want to hold things up because I'm eager for you to get the chance to visit with all of our coaches and staff that are out here today. Just an update from where we are. Finished our summer program this morning. The players did. We've had a great summer. We'll talk more about that next week in the press conference that we have when we kick off preseason camp. But really like the work that our guys have put in. Today was the last day. We're giving our players a long weekend off. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. They'll come back in Tuesday, work out for a couple days, ramp up as we get ready for the start of practice. Thursday, they will report, and then Friday morning will be our first official practice of 2026. Can't wait to get going. I know you'll ask about injuries. Really nothing new from last week. You'll ask about Peak and Dylan Stewart. Same as what I told you last week. They're progressing nicely. They both got really good checkups, or they had doctor's appointments this week, and everything was positive coming out of those reports. And they're trending in the right direction and eager to get back out there and get on the field, and know they will be here really, really soon. And then, as I said, got all of our coaches and staff here today, Darren Usher and Brian Bachman and Rex Hogan from our recruiting and personnel department, who do a great job, and then all of our football staff members, coaches, are here today to visit with you. Really, really pleased. We were talking about it yesterday, just as a staff, the chemistry and the buy-in, everything with this group has been awesome. They've been fantastic. Congrats to Kendall on winning his closest to the pin today out there on the course for sure. And really like this group and excited to get to work with them here next week when we start practice. Any questions before we get you with them? Of course. You knew that.
Shane, now going into year 6, is there one biggest thing that you've learned from your first 5 years as a head coach?
Surround yourself with great people, players, coaches, staff, and certainly have done that with the coaching staff that we have this year. I wouldn't say one thing that stands out, David. I think it's just you understand kind of what's coming now. You always think you're prepared for the role of being a head coach, and you can prepare in so many ways, but until you actually sit in that chair, you have no idea all the things that come across that desk and the things that you have to, get to manage and deal with. And now 5 years in, there's not much that happens that hasn't already happened or that's unexpected. Maybe there's always unexpected things, don't get me wrong, but just having a better understanding of kind of what's coming next and how to prepare throughout the year is probably where I've grown the most in my time.
Shane, as you head into preseason camp, what are some of the things immediately you kind of look for, like in terms of just, what you want to see checked off the boxes?
Yeah, there's a lot when you go through all the different positions. I mean, I think the first thing for us is, we're coming out of the summer where you've done everything in the weight room, and then you get on the field and you're actually practicing football. It's different. And how our guys, I know they're going to be in great shape, but just acclimating to a football practice and how they handle the physical demands of that. We've got some guys that I'm excited to see early that weren't here for spring practice, whether it be from transfer portal guys that we added or high school recruits that didn't sign with us but weren't here in spring practice. Eager to see them. Really pleased with the summers all those new guys have had, but looking forward to seeing that early on. And then really just, Jack, all the competitive battles we have at every position and what that receiver room is going to look like and who kind of separates himself. The depth at the safety position. Peyton Williams has played a lot of snaps for us. After that, we don't have a lot of guys at safety that have played a lot of snaps. So there's different battles and question marks that we have at every single position, but really just a great level of excitement about getting out on the field and getting to work next week.
Shane, two-parter for you. I know Lenoris has gotten into golf this summer. Is he, would you say, the best golfer among the players on the team? And then is there any correlation to success on the course and on the football field?
I don't want to trash Lenoris. I don't think he is. Brady Hunt told me over 4th of July he posted 2 rounds in the 70s at the Greenbrier. So if you're doing that, you're pretty dang good, in my opinion. So Lenoris may be too. I know he's really working at it. I just was told he's playing this weekend. Golf, he loves it, and he's passionate about it. I don't know who the best is. George Wynn, Weezy may have a better idea, but we do have a golf simulator now in our football facility. I'm not sure if we put it in for the coaches or the players, but the players do have it, and they've been able to work on their golf game a little bit more just to have fun and keep them around the building. Lenoris has definitely gotten better as a golfer. There's no question about it. And I think there's correlation. I mean, I think you see a lot of these, great quarterbacks and kickers that are golfers that are really good players are really good golfers, and I think there's correlation. Obviously the skill set and the motion, there's a lot of similarities, but certainly the mental aspect of the game, I think there's a lot that you can learn from the game of golf that helps you on the football field for sure.
Jared in the back line.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you've mentioned that Dylan is progressing well physically with his injury, but I know sometimes with athletes with an injury like that, mentally there may be some hesitancy to get back going full speed. What work have you all done with him to make sure that mentally he's prepared to come back?
Yeah, just, making sure that he knows that we're never going to do anything with him before or that he's ready. And that's any player, meaning from a physical standpoint. Yeah, we all want him back out there quickly, but he won't be until – one, the doctors say he's good to go, and he feels great about it. And that's going back to last season, too. He wasn't 100% healthy, to say the least, during last season. But the conversations that I had with his mom and him and people close to him throughout the season, they realized that then. I talked to his mom 2 days ago, and we were talking about it. So I think just the trust factor that he has with us, that goes a long way for sure because it's very real. And then that part of why he's been so limited since the end of last season is from the physical and the mental standpoint, but understanding that we're going to rest and that's the best thing for you to then allow you, when you are cleared to get back out there, be an even better version of the Dylan Stewart that we all saw when he came on the scene in 2024, and I know he will be. He's in a great frame of mind. I mean, I come in early in the morning, and during the summer, our first lifting group is at 7 a.m. Is the first group that lifts each and every day. And Dylan's in that weight room at 6:45, 6:50 every morning, getting a head start on everybody else, with his recovery and getting healthy, and really proud of where he is right now in the summer that he's had mentally and physically.
Shane, you've got a lot that's new on the offensive side of the football, be it coaches, staff, players. How comfortable going into preseason camp, or not comfortable, but do you feel like you have a good feel for what the offensive side of the ball is going to look like, or how much do you have to figure out during camp in terms of strengths, weaknesses, and areas where you want to focus?
Yeah, no, I think certainly have a really good idea about where we are. I think part of that, John, is some of the restrictions that have been loosened over the years by the NCAA to allow us as coaches to do more with the players in the summertime and in the winter, where when Coach Browse and the staff got in here in January and we came back for the spring semester, we were able to get out there and immediately start doing football stuff with them from an offensive standpoint. And then you have 15 spring practices where you really get a feel for, kind of where we are and what we're good at, where we maybe aren't as good at. And then the summertime is huge too. I mean, we've gotten a lot of work done this summer on the field with the players, Kendall and the offensive staff, Clayton with the defensive staff, Matthew and the special team staff. And that's really been beneficial, just the hands-on work with those guys. But still, you go into preseason and you've got, 4 weeks before you play a game. There's going to be a lot that we still have to find out. We've got some new faces, like I said, that weren't here during spring practice that bring a skill set and an ability to that I think will be able to help us this year. And then we need to figure out, where we really are going to hang our hat and go play ball.
Last two questions are Greg in the middle and then Dick House.
Coach, Lenoris is one of the most pressured quarterbacks in the country last year. How will you measure or evaluate progression of that offensive line group as you get through camp and into the first couple of games?
Yeah, I'll say it again. He was pressured last year, and a lot of that was on him. And a lot of that was on running backs. And a lot of that was on tight ends and receivers and coaches and offensive line. But it's easy to say when the quarterback's under duress that, well, the offensive line stinks. And that's not always accurate. We may have a 5-man protection and they rush 6 people. Well, the quarterback better get rid of the freaking ball. And he's got to be and will be and is coached to do that and whatnot. But I think from our standpoint, there's no question we've got to be better at running the ball and protecting the passer. They go hand in hand. And we haven't done a good enough job, not just last year, but really in the, outside of 24, probably since I've been here, and that's on me. So we've got to be better there. But really love what Randy Clements and Jason Smith are doing on the offensive line and how those guys are being coached. I really like the offensive line group that we have, the returners, the transfers, the freshmen. It's a solid group that have really put in a lot of work and reps this summer. So, for us, it's all, talk until we get out there. But I like where that group is and the edge that they're attacking each day with, and eager to get out there and watch them play when we, start playing games on September 5th.
Last question, Dick in the front.
Having watched these guys work out during the off season, what's the biggest thing you've learned about this team?
I'd say just, and I think I've said it publicly plenty, it's just a mature group, Dick. They handle their business. It's an older group of guys that have been around for a while now. They're very intentional about just coming in the building each day and getting their work done. They're very driven and focused. And not just the returning players that were here, Lenoris and Peyton Williams, that's been here since 2022, but the transfers we've brought in, similar mindsets. The freshmen that we've brought in. I mean, some freshman classes you bring in and it's a bunch of, young, and you can tell they're freshmen. This freshman class that we've brought in, it's a lot of guys that I don't think they're not your typical freshmen with just their maturity and how they handle their business physically and off the field. So that's the thing that stands out to me is it's just a very I like the word intentional. I just think it's a very intentional group about what they want to accomplish each day and ultimately this upcoming season. Good. Thank you, guys. See you soon.